I complimented my boss's outfit at the worst possible moment. The conference room had that particular silence that happens when someone's just been fired, the kind that makes the air feel thick and difficult to breathe. Maya had walked out 3 minutes ago, her box of desk belongings clutched against her chest, and I was still standing there like an idiot near the window, watching the rain streak down the glass in long wavering lines. That's when Diane stepped out of her office wearing a charcoal suit I'd never seen before, perfectly tailored, the kind of thing that probably cost more than my monthly rent. "That's a beautiful suit," I said, because apparently my mouth had disconnected from my brain. She stopped, turned, looked at me with those dark eyes that had a way of making you feel like she could see every thought you'd ever had. "Thank you, Riley." A pause. Then, "Would you like to see me try on more?" I should have laughed it off. Should have made some joke about having work to do. Should have recognized the danger in the way her voice had gone soft, almost vulnerable, so different from her usual crisp executive tone. Instead I said yes. That was 4 months ago. 4 months of walking into her penthouse apartment after work, of sitting on her cream-colored sofa while she emerged from her bedroom in outfit after outfit, asking my opinion like it mattered, like my 26 years and entry-level marketing position gave me any authority to judge her wardrobe. 4 months of slowly realizing that this wasn't about clothes at all. The rain is heavier now, turning the city below into a watercolor painting, all blurred lights and indistinct shapes. I'm in her apartment again, but tonight feels different. She's been quieter than usual, distracted during our standing Thursday evening ritual. She tried on a navy dress 20 minutes ago and hasn't come back out. "Diane." I call toward the bedroom door. "Come here." My heart does something complicated in my chest. In 4 months, she's never invited me past the threshold of that room. I've seen glimpses when the door swings open, enough to know it's decorated in the same minimalist style as the rest of her apartment, all clean lines and expensive simplicity. I stand, smooth down my considerably less expensive work dress, and walk across the hardwood floor that probably costs more per square foot than my entire apartment. She's sitting on the edge of her bed, still in the navy dress, but she's taken her hair down from its usual neat bun. It falls past her shoulders, dark with silver threading through it, and she looks younger somehow. Vulnerable. 49 years old, and she's built an empire from nothing, everyone says so. Started with one boutique 15 years ago, and now we have 37 locations across 3 states. But right now she just looks like a woman who's tired of carrying something heavy. "I need to tell you something," she says. I sit down beside her, not too close, maintaining the careful distance we've always kept. "Okay. This isn't about fashion advice." She laughs, but it sounds broken. "You know that, don't you?" "I've suspected. I'm lonely." The words fall out of her like stones she's been carrying in her pockets. "I've been lonely for a very long time. And you're so bright, Riley. So full of energy and optimism, and you see the world like it still has magic in it. You make me remember what that felt like." The rain hammers against the windows. I should say something. Should ask the obvious question about why me, about whether this crosses lines we shouldn't cross, about what happens to my job if this goes wrong. Instead I reach over and take her hand. Her skin is softer than I expected. Warm. She's always seemed so untouchable, so perfectly composed, that I'd halfway convinced myself she wasn't quite real. But her hand in mine is very real, and trembling slightly. "I notice you too," I say quietly. "I notice how you take your coffee black, but you always add cream when you're stressed. I notice that you reorganize your desk when you're thinking through a problem. I notice that you have a photo of a golden retriever in your drawer that you look at sometimes when you think no one's watching." "Maggie," she says. "She died 2 years ago. 13 years old. I'm sorry." She turns to look at me fully for the first time since I entered the room. "What are we doing, Riley?" "I don't know. And I don't." I only know that I've been coming to her apartment every Thursday for 4 months, and it's become the part of my week I look forward to most. I know that I've been half in love with her since my second day of work when she stayed late to help me fix a catastrophic spreadsheet error and never once made me feel stupid. I know that this is probably a terrible idea that could destroy my career and break both our hearts. "I don't want to take advantage," she says. "You work for me. That's a power imbalance. That's something I swore I'd never. I'm here because I want to be here." I squeeze her hand. Every Thursday, I could have said no. I could have laughed it off that first day. I keep coming back because I want to. She closes her eyes. I haven't been in a relationship in 7 years. The last one ended badly. She wanted things I couldn't give. Marriage. Children. A normal life with someone who came home at a reasonable hour and didn't check their phone during dinner. I buried myself in work after that. It was easier than trying again. I don't need normal, I tell her, and I realize it's true. I've watched my friends settle into comfortable relationships with appropriate partners who work appropriate jobs and plan appropriate futures. I've never wanted that kind of appropriate. I need honest. I need real. This could be complicated. Everything worth having is complicated. She opens her eyes and they're bright with unshed tears. You're 26 years old. You should be out with people your own age, doing 26-year-old things, not sitting in your boss's apartment on Thursday nights watching her try on clothes like some kind of elaborate excuse to spend time together. Maybe I like elaborate excuses. I'm crying too now, though I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe I like Thursday nights better than anything else in my life. Maybe I've been waiting for you to figure out that I'm not here for fashion advice. She kisses me. It's soft and tentative and tastes like the wine she was drinking before I arrived. Her hand comes up to cup my face and I lean into it, into her, into this thing we've been dancing around for 4 months without ever naming it. When we pull apart, we're both crying properly now, tears streaming down our faces like the rain streaming down the windows. I'm terrified, she whispers. Me too. What do we do now? I smile through my tears. You could try on that emerald blouse you bought last week. I bet it looks amazing on you. She laughs, really laughs, and it's the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. Riley Montgomery, you are absolutely ridiculous. Is that a no to the blouse? She kisses me again, longer this time, deeper, and I feel something in my chest unlock that I didn't know was closed. When we finally break apart, she stands and pulls me up with her fingers laced through mine. Stay, she says. Not for the clothes. Just stay. So I do. The office is a minefield on Monday morning. I arrive early as I always do, but Diane is already there, as she always is. We pass in the hallway and share a look that lasts perhaps 2 seconds too long. Jessica from accounting notices. I can tell by the way her eyes sharpen, the way she suddenly becomes very interested in the contents of her coffee mug. I spend the morning trying to act normal, whatever that means now. My work is the same work it was last week. The emails require the same responses. The presentations need the same updates. But everything feels different, like I'm walking through a familiar room in the dark, trying not to trip over furniture I know is there but can't quite see. Diane calls me into her office at 11:30. My hands shake as I gather my laptop and notebook. Everyone's eyes follow me across the floor. They always do when someone gets called into Diane's office. Usually it means either very good news or very bad news. Close the door, she says when I enter. I do. She's standing by her window, looking out at the city below. From 43 floors up, the people look like ants, purposeful and small. Her hair is back in its usual bun. Her suit is gray today, paired with a white blouse and the pearl earrings she wears when she has important meetings. We need to discuss this professionally, she says without turning around. What happened this weekend? Thursday night, I correct quietly. She turns, and there's something almost like amusement in her eyes despite the serious set of her mouth. Thursday night. And Friday night. And Saturday. And Sunday. Fair point. After I stayed that first night, everything else had followed with an inevitability that felt both terrifying and right. We'd spent the entire weekend in her apartment, ordering takeout, watching old movies, talking about everything and nothing. She told me about growing up poor in Detroit, about her mother who cleaned houses and her father who drank away his paychecks. She told me about building her first boutique with money scraped together from 3 jobs and a small business loan she almost didn't get. She told me about falling in love twice before, badly both times, and deciding that work was safer than hearts. I told her about my small-town childhood, about parents who loved each other with a steady, unremarkable devotion that seemed both comforting and suffocating. About majoring in marketing because it seemed practical, not because I loved it. About moving to the city 3 years ago to find something bigger than the life I was supposed to want. We need to be careful, she says now. I don't want anyone claiming favoritism. I don't want your career to be damaged by association with me. My career is already associated with you. You're my boss. You know what I mean. I do. I've been thinking about it all weekend, during the moments between kisses and conversation. The office will talk. They probably already are. And if this becomes public knowledge, everything I accomplish will be viewed through the lens of my relationship with her. Every promotion, every raise, every opportunity will be suspect. So what do we do? I ask. She sits down behind her desk, and for a moment she's all business, the CEO who built an empire from nothing. You transfer to a different department. Report to someone else. That removes the direct power dynamic. I like my department. I like you in your department too. You're good at what you do. She pauses. You're good at what you do, Riley. I need you to believe that. Whatever happens between us personally, your work stands on its own merit. Will anyone else believe that? Some will. Some won't. She leans back in her chair. I've spent 15 years building this company and most of that time being absolutely alone because I was afraid of exactly this kind of complication. I'm 49 years old and I'm tired of being afraid. You don't look 49. Flattery will get you everywhere. But she's smiling, really smiling, the private smile I've only seen in her apartment. Transfer to the creative department. Tasha has been asking for you for months. She thinks you're wasted in marketing. Tasha asked for me? 3 times. I kept saying no because you were too valuable where you were. But the truth is I kept saying no because I liked seeing you every day. I liked having excuses to call you into meetings. I was half in love with you before I ever invited you to my apartment, and I used your position on my team to keep you close. The honesty of it takes my breath away. I would have stayed close anyway. I know that now. She stands, walks around her desk, perches on the edge of it in front of where I'm sitting. But I need to do this right. For you. For both of us. Will you transfer? Yes. Will you keep having Thursday nights with me? And Friday nights. And maybe Saturday and Sunday too, if you can stand my company that much. I stand, close enough that I could kiss her if there weren't cameras in this office and 37 employees just beyond that door. I can stand your company. Good. She reaches out like she's going to touch my face, then catches herself, lets her hand drop. This is going to be hard. Everything worth having is hard. You said that Thursday night. I meant it. She looks at me for a long moment, and I can see her making decisions, weighing risks, calculating odds the way she's calculated every business decision for 15 years. Then she presses the intercom on her desk. Sarah, please have HR draw up transfer paperwork for Riley Montgomery to the creative department, reporting to Tasha Williams. Effective immediately. Right away, Sarah's voice crackles back. Diane looks at me. There. Done. Just like that. Just like that. She pauses. I'm not good at doing things halfway, Riley. When I commit to something, I'm all in. Are you all in? I think about my careful, planned-out life. About the appropriate relationship I was supposed to find with an appropriate partner. About playing it safe and keeping my head down and not making waves. I think about Thursday nights in her apartment, about the way she looks at me like I'm something precious, about the sound of her laugh when I make her forget to be the CEO for a while. I'm all in, I say. The creative department is chaos in the best possible way. Tasha is a whirlwind of energy and brilliant ideas, who wears vintage band t-shirts to important meetings and somehow makes it work. She's 42, openly gay, and has been with the company since Diane opened the 3rd boutique. She takes one look at me on my first day in my new department and grins like she knows every secret I've ever had. Finally, she says, spinning her desk chair around to face me. I've been trying to steal you for 8 months. What made Diane finally let you go? She thought I'd be better utilized here. Aha. Tasha's grin gets wider. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with the way you two look at each other. My face must do something incriminating because she laughs, loud and delighted. Relax, Riley. Your secret is safe with me. Well, relatively safe. People talk. But I'm not one of them. There's no secret, I try. Sure. And I'm straight. She tosses me a folder. Here's what we're working on. Fall campaign. Diane wants something different this year, something that speaks to women who've been told their best years are behind them. She's very specific about the emotional tone. Almost like she's got personal investment in it. I open the folder and page through the mock-ups. They're good, but safe. Beautiful women in beautiful clothes looking beautiful in beautiful settings. Nothing that would actually speak to someone who's been told they're past their prime. This isn't it, I say. I know. That's why you're here. Tasha leans forward. Show me what you've got, new girl. I spend the next 2 weeks buried in the campaign. I barely see Diane except in passing, and when I do, we maintain careful professional distance. But the work itself feels like a conversation with her. Every choice I make, I'm thinking about what she told me that first weekend. About building something from nothing. About being told she was too ambitious, too hard, too much. About turning 40 and watching the world start to see her as invisible. The campaign I design isn't about beautiful women in beautiful clothes. It's about women who've lived. Who've built things. Who've failed and gotten back up. Who've got silver in their hair and laugh lines around their eyes and stories written in the set of their shoulders. The tagline writes itself. Your best years aren't behind you. They're just beginning. Tasha looks at my mock-ups and doesn't say anything for a full minute. Then, Diane is going to lose her mind over this. Good lose her mind or bad lose her mind? Guess you'll find out. She grabs her phone. I'm sending these up to her now. She wants to see all campaign proposals personally before we go to full production. My heart hammers against my ribs. This is the first real work Diane will see from me since the transfer. Since everything changed. I want her to love it because it's good work, not because of what we are to each other. I need to know I can still do this job on my own merit. The call comes 30 minutes later. Riley Montgomery to the executive office. The elevator ride feels endless. When I step out onto the 43rd floor, Sarah gives me a knowing look that makes my stomach twist. She's waiting for you. Diane's office door is open. She's standing by her window again, the mock-ups spread across her desk. When I enter, she doesn't turn around. Close the door. I do. This campaign, she says quietly. Where did this come from? From you. The honesty surprises me, but it's the truth. From your story. From everything you told me about building this company. From the way the world treats women who dare to age while still being ambitious. She turns, and her eyes are wet. It's perfect. You're not just saying that because... Riley. She crosses to me in 3 strides, stops just short of touching me. This is brilliant work. This is the best campaign proposal I've seen in 5 years. This is what I've been trying to articulate for months and couldn't find the words for. You found the words. Relief floods through me so intensely my knees feel weak. So we can move forward with it? Yes. She smiles. Tasha was right to want you. You're wasted in marketing. Well, you were wasted in marketing. Past tense. Was that awkward phrasing or are you firing me? She laughs. Neither. I'm promoting you. Associate Creative Director. You'll still report to Tasha, but you'll have your own team. Your own projects. Diane, I've been in this department for 2 weeks. And you've already proven you belong here. She finally reaches out, lets her fingers brush against mine. I told you. Your work stands on its own merit. This proves it. People will still talk. Let them talk. She laces her fingers through mine properly now, and I realize she's closed the blinds on her office windows at some point. We're as private as we can be in this building. I'm done hiding things that matter to me. I've spent too many years doing that already. I kiss her then because I can, because her office is private and my heart is full and she just validated every fear I had about my own abilities. When we break apart, she's smiling. Thursday night, she says. My place. We're celebrating. What if I already have plans? Do you? No. Then Thursday night. My place. I'll cook. You cook. Sometimes. She grins. I'm full of surprises, Riley Montgomery. She is. 3 months later, I'm still discovering them. I learn that she stress bakes at 2 in the morning when she can't sleep, that she's got an encyclopedic knowledge of old Hollywood films, that she cries during sappy commercials but maintains perfect composure during actual crises. I learn that she's ticklish just below her ribs, that she sings off-key in the shower, that she's terrified of birds for reasons she refuses to explain. I learn that loving her is easy in private and complicated in public. The office has definitely noticed, though no one says anything directly. There are looks. Whispered conversations that stop when I enter rooms. A few people start treating me differently, either overly friendly or obviously cold. Jessica from accounting asks me pointed questions about my weekend plans. Marcus from inventory stops inviting me to happy hours. But Tasha becomes a fierce ally, shutting down gossip before it can gain traction and making it clear that my work speaks for itself. And my work does speak. The fall campaign launches to incredible response. Sales jump 18% in the first month. Industry publications run features on our innovative approach to marketing to older women. I do interviews, speak on panels, watch my career accelerate in ways I never planned for. Diane and I maintain careful boundaries at work. We're professional, cordial. But on Thursday nights and Friday nights, and most weekends now, I'm at her apartment or she's at mine. We've fallen into rhythms, created routines. She brings coffee to me in bed on Saturday mornings. I cook dinner while she tells me about her day. We've started talking about the future in small, tentative ways. About what happens next. About whether this thing between us can last. Move in with me, she says one Sunday morning in December. We're in her bed, the city spread out below us through the floor-to-ceiling windows, snow just starting to fall. She's tracing patterns on my shoulder with her fingertips, lazy and content. I turn to look at her. What? Move in with me. Your lease is up in February. Don't renew it. Move in here. That's fast. We're not getting any younger. She grins to show she's joking, but there's real question in her eyes. I love you, Riley. I love having you here. I love waking up next to you. I want this to be our home, not just my apartment that you visit. What will people say? When have you ever cared what people say? She's right. I haven't. Not really. I left my small town specifically to escape the weight of other people's expectations. I took this job because I wanted to build something bigger than myself. I fell in love with her because my heart didn't care about appropriate age gaps or power dynamics or office politics. Yes, I say. I'll move in. She kisses me, soft and deep, and I taste joy in it, relief, something like wonder. I never thought I'd have this again, she whispers against my lips. I'd convinced myself I didn't deserve it. You deserve everything. So do you. She pulls back to look at me seriously. I mean that, Riley. You deserve a partner who shows up for you, who prioritizes you, who doesn't just fit you into the margins of their life. I'm going to try to be that. I'm probably going to fail sometimes because I've been alone for so long I've forgotten how to share space. But I'm going to try. I'm going to hold you to that. Please do.